Yay! So I'm so excited, obviously, to have all of you on today for our 4-Star Diamond Mastermind call. Hey, Vicky.
I'm getting on.
With hey, you're good. So with that being said, as far as last week's call, and it was Vicky who actually talked about branding yourself, being authentic. Do you guys kind of feel like you put that into action last week? Do you feel like you got out of your comfort zone and you were truthfully you and unapologetically you? Do you kind of feel like you did well with that?
Always.
Okay. And if not, always good. And that is something that you can truly, once you're teaching that to your team, I promise you, they will grow leaps and bounds. Because social media especially plays that everything is perfect. It's not. And it doesn't need to be. You know what I mean? Depending on who you're trying to attract. But honestly, when you are unapologetically you and you're true to yourself, that's when you're going to get all these people that you're going to inspire and encourage. And they're just going to be like, oh my gosh, I want to be part of you because you're true. Okay, so I say take it a little step further every single week and go a little bit deeper. Find some things that maybe you have never talked about before that would relate to others that you want to help, because that is an incredible thing to do. And from there, you'll teach your team to do exactly the same thing. So with that being said, I don't want to take a ton of time because I love the fact that I have Ronda on here, Ronda Race, who is new to the West region. She moved from Minnesota. Did I say that right? Minnesota. And she is now in Arizona where she's soaking up all the sunshine. She loves it. Every time I talk to her, she talks about the sunshine and being hot, and she loves it. So it's so exciting because obviously now she's with our West region here. But Ronda is moving up quick. She just became a 4-star diamond. She has a huge vision by the end of the year, and I absolutely love that. But first and foremost, she is ranked at number 144 in the entire network. Right now, we're at about 368,000 coaches. And so ranked number 144 in a 4-star diamond, that is huge. That is huge. She, like I said, moved to Phoenix. She has a husband and 2 adorable little girls, Taylor and Peyton, right? Taylor and Peyton. They're so gorgeous. And what Ronda is most successful with is her challenge groups. She runs 4 successfully every single month. How does she do it? She cares about people. And so that's why we kind of came up with this title today, Changing a Life Through Successful Challenge Groups. So I'm going to go ahead and Ronda and let you take it away, and can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting me speak. You guys are awesome. I'm very passionate about challenge groups, and I'm going to be like talking with my hands because that's what I do. But they're the foundation of what helps us grow and how we change people's lives. And I think that truly we have an opportunity in a challenge group. And we all know this, but we have an opportunity to create trust and a friendship for a lifetime. And I think when we really focus on the aspect of not that one sale, because I know we've all been there where we're like, I need one more Success Club point, or I need this, and this person's going to buy this challenge pack. But at the end of the day, you guys, it's really not about that one sale or about those 2 Success Club points that you might be getting. But we have an opportunity to change one person's life, which can change generations, right, with their kids and their families and so forth. And so I really do put a lot of heart into my challenge groups. And the thing that I want to share with you guys is some things that I've done that make it to where they run so smooth where I don't have to duplicate them each month. They're already done for me. So when I run a new group for September, it's already done. Like, I already know exactly what I'm going to post. It's already done. So I'm going to share with you guys my passion is very much in the 21-day fix. So 99% of my groups are the 21-day fix. I get it. It's smart. It changes lives, and it teaches people how to eat those groceries that they buy at the checkout, right? So for me, I really focus on a lot of nutrition in my 21-day fix groups, and I provide that. So right out of the gate, when people join my groups, before they even start, so what I do is the groups always start on a Monday. And what I do is the Friday before, I'll have everybody go in the group. I create the group, and my very first post, and I am a video queen. I'm a video queen because in 2 or 3 minutes, I can say so much more than I could in this letter that I could type out for them that I can't even, they're not going to connect with me. So 99% of my posts are videos. So right out of the gate, they're going to go in the group that Friday before. And in that very first video, it's my intro video. And it is the same video that I use for every single challenge group. And this video is less than 4 minutes. And it is going to tell them exactly what they're going to get from me. It's going to walk them through the book when they get their package. It's going to walk through what to expect, how excited. And in the video, I am just like practically doing backflips. I'm so excited to help them. So I have a lot of energy in it, and I'm just really, really honored to be able to go on this journey with them. And so I walk them through with this video what to expect, but in the writing of the video, I talk about, and this is all before we start, about how to get their family on board, how to get their kitchen organized. Like I talk about, all these little things, and at the very bottom of that video, I'm going to ask them to interact with me. Okay. And this is our chance. This is our one chance out of the gate to get them to interact right away. If you lose them right here, you're going to lose them the rest of the time. So right away, I want to know ASAP, and I'm going to tag all of them. I'm going to tag all of them in this opening intro. Did you get your package yet? And have you, cleared out your pantry? Have you told your family what you're going to do? So you've got all these people on board with you, right? And so they're going to, and I also want them to introduce themselves. So it gives us opportunity to introduce themselves, where they live, what their goals are. And so immediately, these people that are in the group, we can build this connection together before we even start, okay? So on that Friday before, I will also provide right out of the gate a grocery list and full meal plans for every single bracket. So every single bracket in the 21-day fix, they're going to get a meal plan for it. They're also going to get a grocery list. So this is the deal. We all use Pinterest. We all know it's there. There's like one for every single calorie range, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide them one for everyone. I only follow in one, so I also provide them mine as well. So right away in that grocery list, I'm going to immediately provide them, or I'm going to ask them, are they gluten-free? Are they dairy-free? I'm going to ask very specific, do you have allergies? Do you have all these things? And the same thing in my meal plans, right? And I'll tell you in a minute where I'm going with this is basically, I'm going to ask all these questions. This is already done for me. I never recreate this system, ever. The writings and how I write this out and the questions and how I'm able to build that trust with these people, they are all saved for me. So every single time I run a group, it's always the same questions. In order for me to help them better, I have to know if they have allergies. I have to know if they're dairy-free. I have to know if they're gluten-free. I want to hear these things right out of the gate so that I can help them over the next 21 days. So then what I do is over the weekend, we start, it's where I'm not super involved, but we do talk, they do share like their groceries and so forth. But what I do over the weekend is I want them to know when day one starts, what to expect from me. And this is all done, all pre-done for them. But basically I want them to know that when we start on Monday, they will see me in the morning. They will not see me all day. And then I will check in on them at night. I will check on them once or twice a day, 7 days a week. But I have to tell them so that my business won't run me. I run my own business. I tell them right out of the gate what to expect from me. So there's no, where's Ronda? Where's Ronda? That way they know when they get to see me and they know that I'm going to get to them. So I think it's super important. Also, you guys do that with your coaches. Like my coaches know they ain't going to see me on Facebook ever during the day. Never. They're not going to get me. So having that schedule, that way your business is ran efficiently. So right out of the gate, I'm going to tell them that. But this is the great thing, you guys, is we don't just all of a sudden have these meals provided in our challenge groups. Here's this awesome meal. Good luck making it, right? So what I do is I actually have a video, and all my videos are on YouTube, but I have a video showing them, walking them through my groceries on the counter, just literally coming from the store, showing the areas where I cut corners and where I don't cut corners. And this video I have done with all writing already. So every single time I run a challenge group, I don't have to recreate it, it's done, right? But I want them to see the visual of here's the food I get, and here's what I'm going to make with it, right? In turn, what I'm going to do is I want them to post a picture or a video of their groceries. And I'm going to ask them to do it because again, we want them to communicate. I don't want them to be a fly on the wall. I want to have fun. I want to fly into North Carolina and want to meet these people, right? So I want to build these relationships, and I'm like, hey, today show your groceries. I want to see yours. What'd you get? Where'd you go? Show a picture of it, right? And so we all kind of like, before we even start, we're sharing these pictures of the food we're buying, right? And it's kind of fun. It's like, I got this at Target. I got this at Trader Joe's. So I think it's great to kind of start from those beginning aspects. So I have a video for that. I also do videos for my meal prepping, and I walk them through what that meal prepping looks like. And then I ask them as well to share theirs. So they will, like, so my groups right now, like, they're sharing their food prep videos from yesterday, and oh my God, the things I learned, I'm like, I never thought to make that. And we learn so much from each other, and we have a blast doing it. Again, that video of my food prepping is on YouTube. I never have to recreate it. So the writing is already done. I have it all saved, and I'll share with you guys where I save all that. But initially, every single post that I do in that very first week is completely done. My first week is like, I don't need to do anything. It's already done. The other thing is that I think is really, really important is how many of you guys run 21-day fix groups, and like every single month it's the same struggles, right? It's like, how do I measure rice? How do I measure oatmeal? How do I measure salsa and spaghetti sauce? Like all those things, right? It's every single month you're going to have the same questions come up. So guess what? You can make a video, right? Talking about these things, having the writing already done. So during this first week, when we're really growing together, I can share this video and say, hey, guess what, guys? This is how this process works. And again, it's already pre-done. What I do is I do run, because I don't know about you guys, but I get my 21-day fix. People get super anxiety about the fact it's only 21 days. And they're like, oh my God, I'm only going to get you for 21 days. What am I going to do? What am I going to do, right? So I also tell them, don't even worry. We're going to run this for 30 days because I know it took me 4 to 5 days to get this whole system done. So I want them to like not be panicked about that first week and just really learning this process. And we're really like growing together and building that trust. And then I tell them, but starting next week, you're all in. I want you full 21 days, no excuses, first week adjustment. Then, and I share these in videos, right? So already all done. So, the other thing is Autumn's videos. I have a lot of her videos that I save her YouTube clips, and I have writing with them, like the almond milk one, right? Like, oh my God, was that not the most freeing day ever when you can be like, I can have almond milk and I don't have to count it for everything, right? So, I mean, God, you tell people that and they're like, oh, thank you, Lord, right? So what I do is I have multiple areas that you can save all of this stuff under. And for me, Evernote is wonderful. I don't know if any of you guys have Evernote on your phone, but I save everything on Evernote. I have my grocery list. I have my meal plans. I have like carb cycling meals and like all the writing already done. So if I'm out and about and I'm traveling or something, guess what? It's on my phone. So Evernote is a great app that you can do to save your documents. The other one is obviously documents on your computer. So the other thing I do when I start a challenge group is under files in the challenge group, all the things I provide them in visuals, I also provide them in files. So they can go back at any point. So instead of going, oh, where was that post you did about meal prepping, or where was that meal plan? All they have to do is go up to files and it's always there for them. So they're not overwhelmed with, where's it at? Where's it at? Boom, it's there. Grocery list, guess what? Not only did I provide you a visual in the group, but it's under files, right? I also put recipes under files for them. And this is the thing that's great, you guys, is Pinterest is huge. Grab a couple awesome, really popular ones from Pinterest, put them under files in your groups, and boom, you're done, right? Google Docs is another way that you can save your challenge group posts. I don't know if I'm like a huge goober or not, but like I have an old challenge group that was like one of my very, very first ones from a long time ago. And I'm the only one in it now. And I save a lot of my stuff in there. So it's in an old challenge group. And I will just grab those posts from an old challenge group. I'm the only one in there, and boom, done. So I do have them saved there or on Evernote for myself. But this is the thing I started to realize is there's no sense in recreating the wheel for all of these challenge groups. They really do have the same system every single month. They really do have the same questions. For instance, and I want to share a couple with you guys. So a lot of struggles people have are nighttime cravings, when they're traveling, staying on track, sweets, eating out at restaurants, events. They have a hard time drinking water. Make a post for all of these things that you know are brought up every single month, right? So you don't have to think about every morning, what am I going to post in my challenge groups today? I'm like, oh, well, I struggle with this, right? And so you can have these posts already done in video form or writing form or a video from Autumn, whatever you want, but have a schedule where you're able to do that. If you lose momentum in your challenge groups, now I can tell you like the first 2 or 3 weeks, they're like on fire. They're just on fire. They're doing really good. I mean, I ask people to share their pictures and people do. It's just, they're just doing it, right? Because they're so excited about the process. I will tag people if they start to get lost. I will private message them. What I do is I want to share about how many challenge groups that I run. So initially, I will run 3 to 4 at a time. And the way that works is, so initially my challenge groups are 30 days long, okay? So I will let them extend. So after 30 days, I give them the option, because of course we want them to keep going and we want them to be a rock star forever. I will initially extend that group a few weeks, right? So some of them were overlapped. So after those few weeks, what I do is I do have a maintenance group. And my maintenance group is a lot of fun. What I do is I run a maintenance group with one of my other Rockstar coaches. And in this maintenance group, we post all of the same things. But in the meantime, I'm still meal prepping every day and I'm still eating out and doing those things. So they're still going to also get new posts as well. I want to share real quick, 90% of my challenge group posts are already pre-done. They still will get like my lunches and my things, and I do to hold myself accountable, and I want them to know when I'm out and about what I would eat. But 90% of my stuff is already done every single time I run one. But in my maintenance group, I do, they win prizes. So what we do for 30 days is I have at the very top of my maintenance group, I made my own where it's an accountability calendar. So like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they can get 1 point, okay, for every single time they do one of the tasks on that day. So for instance, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like day 1 could be Motivational Monday. And I want you to post on something that you want to buy or something that you're going to reward yourself in and not be food, right? If you stay on track this week, right? And it could be like some people post like a Boso ball, or they'll post like an outfit they want to get, or some iTunes, music they want. So we have fun with it. And so at the end of the month, what I do, and I used to do this, I used to add up all the points and it became too much. So now I do the honor system and I tell them to keep track to their own points. And so what I do is the winner can win a cookbook from Autumn. They can win samples of Shakeology. They can win a shaker cup. I have resistance bands from Beachbody. I got some at Summit, so they can have those, right? So I've got like just some fun things that they get to win, and it makes them show up. And who doesn't want a free cookbook, right? And so it's so worth it. Real quick, the other thing that I do go above and beyond in my challenge groups in certain areas that I do think that are super important. So yesterday I had a lady that was really struggling with her sciatic nerve problems and a ab video she wanted me to create. And so I went on Periscope and I did a whole video for her, and then I provided it in the group and I was able to YouTube it. And so if they need anything in particular, I'm going to make a video because I can do that in 2 seconds versus just explaining it, right? The other thing is I've incorporated in my challenge groups is personal development. I see way too often, just like coaches, right? The fact that people are beating themselves up. They are just so hard on themselves. And I'm like, immediately, just like myself, I recognize that and I'm like, let's talk about personal development. What are you doing to feed the inside of your soul? And so what I'll do is I'll provide them a list of my favorite and we'll talk about it. And the other thing I'll do is I do live Zoom calls with my challenge groups ever so often to kind of have, if I have a group that has a lot of questions, I'll do a Zoom call once a month to ask about nutrition questions. And just honestly, it's amazing. I love doing that. The other thing I do is I do one-on-one phone calls. So what I do is if I have somebody that's truly asking a lot of nutrition questions or really wants to have a phone call with me, I will set up a 10-minute phone call and I'll tell them ahead of time that it's going to be 10 minutes long and that we're going to really nail this together. And you guys, I've signed so many coaches doing this, because I'm able to build even a better relationship, and they're with me for life now. So those are really my biggest tips that I can share. I would love to answer any questions too, but I really have a passion for them. I love it. They're these people are my friends for life. Like, they're not just a number. I really, really love them.
Love it. Thank you. So why don't we go ahead and open it up for questions? Because I think the biggest thing is, really just getting them involved for the entire 30 days, because that is truly what it comes down to. But you point out so many great ways. So coaches, what questions do you have for Miss Ronda? And you can unmute yourself.
Rhonda, that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I had a question. You may have said this, though. You have a maintenance group. Okay, so you do a 30-day group, but they're all doing the 21-day fix. And then do you move everybody into the maintenance group and start a brand new group?
What I do is, my maintenance group right now has about 100 people in them, right? And sometimes it'll get larger. And my maintenance group, any of them, and this is the thing that will happen, right? Any of the people in the maintenance group are able to join any of my newer groups again. If they reach out to me and that's what they want to do, I'm going to give them what they want, right? But my regular 21-day fixed groups, what I do is I run them a full 30 days. And I will tell you guys that it really depends on the group. So if I have, and I've had this happen on occasion, because we've all had that cricket group, right? Where it's a really quiet group. And it's like, I'm going to run it 30 days and then it's done. It is done. And then I'm going to move them maybe to another group so that they can have more, life in it, kind of thing. And so I don't have that happen maybe once or twice a year. But for the most part, the groups run themselves really, really well. So I'll do a full 30 days. After 30 days, I will, in that same group, say, hey guys, do you want to continue? And of course, they all want to. I find at about 6 weeks, so I will extend it about 6 weeks. I find right at that 6 weeks marks, it's time to move them into maintenance group. Right? They get a little quiet. I want them to win prizes now. I want them to win a cookbook. I want them to know that they're going to show up and actually be able to get a prize. Right? And so I will then at that point move them to my maintenance group, which I run with just one other coach. And I love to run my maintenance group with at least one other coach. That way they're not just going to get my tips, but they're going to get her tips as well. And she does the same thing with her customers. So we have both of our customers in there. Does that answer?
Question on your 30-day format. Let's say on the first of the month you have somebody that gets fixed. On the 15th you have somebody that gets size, and on the 24th you have somebody that gets T25. How do you handle a 30-day group that's program based in when you're getting all kinds of different the whole month?
Absolutely. Well, I actually had that happen just this last month. I actually only for the month of August ran one new group, and I don't normally do that, but instead I ran two new coach sneak peek groups. But initially what I will do, John, is I actually, for the most part, I would say 99% of the time, I will run two brand new 21-day fixed groups to kind of have that so that I've got that middle of the line and then maybe at the end of the month. And the thing that I will share with them ahead of time. So for instance, I had somebody just now that bought size. And so I start a new group in a week and a half, right? So I'm going to put her in that group in a week and a half, gives her about 4 to 7 days to get it. If there's that transition period, say I have a 21-day fixed group that maybe is a week in, maybe they're a week in, I'm going to still put them in there. If it's much past that, I'm going to hold them off to the next one. Because I don't, there's nothing worse than joining a brand new group and they're almost done and you're like, what? Right? So I will, if they're 1 week in, because that first week is really, and I kind of let them know ahead of time, hey, that first week is really kind of adjusting anyway. So I will put them in if it's starting the second week. Otherwise, I'm going to have another one about a week and a half out for the most part. That's usually what I try to do in that situation. That way, and it'll overlap. They'll have the program in their hands about 3 to 4 days before they can actually be in a group. But what I'll do is I set the groups up ahead of time so they kind of start getting those things like the meal plan and the grocery list while they wait for it to start. You got to play with that one a little bit, I think. It depends on really having that schedule just right.
Yeah, it's tough because I just have chosen to do ongoing groups and they kind of die off because ongoing. There's no momentum. And so I like the idea of having a 30-day. I've just never figured out how to do it with so many different programs because I've got like 6 or 7 different groups going. So
yeah, so I truly do the 21-day fix, but I'll tell you, I have size and I have PIO, right? And I have max customers and I have brand new ones, but I'm not going to run a group for that one person on that one group. So what I do is now they all follow the 21-day fix meal plan. So I tell them ahead of time, guess what? This is going to be amazing. You're going to follow the 21-day fix anyways in this group. Just know that your workout is going to look like this.
Right. And that's getting easier. That's getting easier over time, thankfully. But what happens if you have like a T25 person?
Then I will probably put them in a 21-day fix group. Yeah, because I don't have a separate group. And I don't get too much of that. I occasionally will have a P90X person, but I'll tell you, I really do attract, for myself, I really do attract more of the 21-day fix. But I have had that happen before where I've had a husband and wife where the wife was doing the 21-day fix and the husband's like, well, I'm not doing the 21-day fix, so I'm going to do P90X. And so what I'll do is I'll have him come in and just kind of be a part of it and kind of go from there. But yeah, definitely what you could do, and I'll tell you a lot of my coaches do, is they will reach out to our team and ask if anybody's going to be running a group on that so that way you guys can connect and maybe have a specific group for that. Yeah, I hope that helps. That's always kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Great info. I loved your tips. I loved how you're running your challenges. That's awesome. I was just curious, when you're adding new customers into the group, are you signing them straight as coaches, or are they upgrading as coaches later? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I will tell you, as of probably the last 3 months, I would say 90% of my customers, or maybe 80%, are coaches. I truly believe every single person should be a coach, and if they're not, they're crazy. So I really do present it that way, and I will pick up the phone and I will talk to my people before they even buy a challenge pack from me, and I will tell them my story. And I'll be like, well, I became a coach because why am I going to pay full price for it if I'm going to do it anyways? And they're like, oh, okay. So I do tend to sign a lot more coaches buying challenge packs, for the aspect that I'm on the phone with these challenge group people. I am literally like, they're just going to be customers, but I want to help them forever. Like, I want them to know that this is not just 30 days, right? And so I want to also let them know that they've got the opportunity to work it, but there's no, it's really completely up to them. Let's start on them first and know that they've got that option. But I really go into my story and that I didn't want to pay full price. And I really truly say, I think everybody should be a coach, because I really think I don't even know why I have customers. They all should be coaches. So I do personally do that. Now, before I did that, I did more people that had bought challenge packs, and then they would convert to coaches.
Awesome. Thanks. Just one other question on that. So when they join your challenge, let's say they join as a coach and you help them get results, then out of that group, if they're ready to go and run their own groups, do you have training set up, or do you just say, kind of watch me and do what I do, or what do you do there?
I just had a call with my team about this. So my team, so this is really great, you guys. I actually love this. So when I ran my very first challenge group, I did it by myself. I had never been in a challenge group. I didn't know what I was doing. And so I do share that with my team, that you don't have to know it all to do it, right? And you're going to get better over time. But when my coaches join my challenge group, they will have a training, a 14-day coach training to teach them how to be successful in running challenge groups. But I'm actually going to have team calls that are going to help them do that too. But this is one of the things that I love my coaches to know. When they run their first challenge group, they can do it with me. So what I do is that first couple challenge groups, we can run them all together, okay? So if I'm running a 21-day fixed challenge group on September 14th and they sign as a coach like on August 7th, I'm gonna be like, all right, put it out there. You're gonna be running this. I want you to get some friends and family that are gonna join you, and then your customers can do this with me. And so we will run these challenge groups together with my brand new coaches. And so initially, what I want my coach to do is as they progress in the business, I want them to start running their own. And I tell them that they need to run their own in order to become a leader. But initially, those first couple ones, I would love to do them with them so they can learn. And as they do one or two with me, they see that I do the same thing every single time. I'm going to get the grocery list. I'm going to do the meal plans, the meal prep videos, all of those things. I do have discount coaches that never want to run their own challenge group, and they just want to be in all of my groups, and absolutely they can do that, and they'll just join the new one every single month. So I hope, does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Any other questions?
So you said you didn't come in through a challenge group, Rhonda? Like, how did you get started?
I did not. So I became a coach, and I did not join a challenge group, but I joined Beachbot to be a coach for Shakeology. I was desperate. I felt horrible. I had horrible energy. I had really bad tendinitis. I had tried everything on the market, and I was teaching classes, a ton of classes as a Group X instructor, and I was following my upline coach, Danielle Natoni, and I saw her killing it. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever she's doing, I got to do it. And she did not have a challenge group at the time that she had put me in at that time. But I knew right away that I could do it. We already love to motivate people. We want to help people. And so I had done my own, it was only friends and family. I had 8 people. And I didn't necessarily sign as a coach to work the business, really just to maybe get my products paid for. And then I fell in love with the process. So, and then from there, I've been a fly on the wall in Lori Stewart's, I think she was number 3 in the company on our team. I've been a fly on the wall in her challenge group, but I've never actually been in one myself. So I think it was just maybe timing when I signed.
That's interesting. So how long have you done it where you started? Have you always done it with the videos, or did you kind of change that over time?
I found over time that I could connect so much more with them. And I just felt like there was something missing. I felt like I was hitting a wall, and I could type it out all day long, but to actually be able to tell them in 2 or 3 minutes and be like, all right, guys, this is what you're going to do. Or if you're having a hard day, this is what you're going to do. And, this is how you're going to make this. And this is how you're going to show up. And when those times get tough. And, I do a lot of videos. I'm very passionate about the videos because I really feel like I can come across so much better to them. And I found getting lost in the writing part of it and just being it taking up so much time. My coaches laugh. I will be doing videos all the time, all the time, hey, check this out. I'm at Trader Joe's. I'm horrible because for me, it's a time sucker to write it out. I can provide them so much more information by just having a 2 or 3 minute video. And so for me, as my business grew, I found that the demand of my challenge groups was taking on too much time, and that I needed to be putting the 80% into my coaches. Absolutely the challenge groups are what change it, but they should run themselves. And so I found that I needed to create a system. And I did this all in Minnesota, where I was like, you know what? It's the same questions every time, kind of like our coaches, right? It's the same questions every single time. Why not have a video for all of these? And as they come up through the challenge group, I already have them done. Right? And as I've created the videos, now I've created the writing to it. So I have maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs. And, but I've got anything, it could be the funniest things. I've got videos for all of it. So, but I feel like I could connect better with them, and I could run them more efficiently that way.
Oh, that's smart. That's a great idea.
Yo.
Okay, we have time for one more question or takeaway or whatever it is, because there were so many great ones. Anybody?
I just have to say, I just moved from Arizona, and you'll love Brigida and Stephanie Chico and Christina Wheeler and all those guys. So you'll love it there. It was awesome. I was there when we kind of helped get Arizona off the ground. So
Shannon,
just had to say, you'll love it.
Where are you at now, Shannon?
Central California. There's no coaches within 2 hours, so we're getting it going here.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. No, we used to vacation here, so we are seriously in heaven. We're dying here. We're so excited. I can't even tell you, it's a dream come true.
Awesome. Well, you'll love it.
Thank you.
Here.
Rhonda, thank you so much. That was such a great call. And I guess the biggest thing, especially we all know as coaches, the hardest thing in a challenge group is keeping the engagement. And so I love the fact of the, coach group, or challenge group, Zoom call. I think that's absolutely incredible to connect and answer any questions or celebrate their successes, because when you build that, together, they will stick together. So I love that. But then also just on those videos, we all get stuck behind writing, and it does take so much time. I guess, the biggest thing with you, and I can tell you're still passionate, even though you're putting in the same effort and you're, putting the same things out there, you still have the passion. And that's one thing that can easily go away because it's the same thing every single month. So do something different, create different passion, and I absolutely love that. So great job. I am going to post into our group, just kind of, what is your biggest takeaway? What are you going to implement into your challenge groups? And I highly suggest, coaches, challenge groups is one thing you never want to go away from. I have plenty of coaches that do them every single month, and I have coaches that don't. The difference is what you do duplicates. So if you set up your team successfully with challenge groups, your team will duplicate that. And then that covers Carl's mission of truly helping people. So thank you, Rhonda. That was amazing. Thank you for your tidbits. I'll post in the group. And thank you, coaches, for showing up. That was awesome.
Thank you for having me, you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a great day, everybody, and I will chat with you all soon, okay?
Good. Bye.
Bye.